Welcome to another episode of Birdgang Nation Sports Talk. Today we got a special guest, Symone from Symone with the Sports. How you doing today, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Can't complain. Just got off a live with Big AK Eagle. It went good. So, got to keep grinding out here. Got to get those
All right,
subscribers.
you've been working hard.
Trying to be like you guys. You know what I'm saying? With the fans.
No,
So
I
yeah,
haven't
go ahead.
been that much consistent lately. I got to get back on track.
Nice. Well, tell everybody where you're from, and you know.
So I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina originally. Right now I live in Atlanta, Georgia. So I've been living here about 2 years now. Yeah, so I guess you can call me a Georgia girl for now, but my ties are to North Carolina.
Okay, and we all know that your ties with them birds, right?
Right, exactly.
All right. So, let's go with jump into it. I know you don't have too much time, so tell me how you feel about the birds this year.
I feel like I'm more optimistic than most, but I feel like most people are now. Like now, we're getting close to the training camp. We're getting close to the season. Like that terrible last season is starting to, get pushed out of people's minds. So I think people are starting to become more optimistic. Now we're getting closer to the season, and it's the same for me. I feel really optimistic. We got a exciting new coaching staff that seems super energized. Nothing negative about the coaching staff before, but these guys seem more energized, they have more personality. So that's going to translate, especially since we have an extremely young team. We got a young quarterback, we got a young wide receiver room, we got a young running back room. We unfortunately right now have a young cornerback room. So having these guys on the coaching staff that are super excited, super pumped up, I think it's going to translate really well to the guys on the field. So I'm super excited about that. Of course, I'm ready to see Jalen Hurts silence some haters, hopefully. Not that I'm not confident in him, but we got a lot riding on him, and he is still an inexperienced guy. We have a lot of confidence in him. But at the end of the day, he still is inexperienced. So we don't know exactly what we're going to get week 1, week 2, week 3. But we're going to hope for the best. Also, with the same with Miles Sanders, like we know he can do extremely well. We've seen him be Pro Bowl caliber running back, but it's those injuries that kind of like, what are we going to get early on from him? And also, that's the same thing with Devonta Smith. Like we know he's going to be great, but it's just kind of like those early on games. Like how long is it going to take for those guys to get going? So we play the Falcons week 1. Of course, that's in Atlanta. So I'm hoping and praying we can beat the Dirty Birds down here, so I won't be embarrassed.
You gonna be there?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be there. So I was there the first year I was in Atlanta, 2019, week 2, played the Falcons, lost, of course. So it was a long walk for me from our seats to the car. So hopefully this season I don't get embarrassed.
Nice, no problem with that. No problem with that. So, what do you think we're gonna do? What's the record prediction from you? Let's get it out there.
The record predictions are so hard, like I said, because we have a brand new staff. We have a brand new players too. Like we're brand new everywhere. So the record prediction is going to be tough. I'm going to say we got 6 games in the division. I always feel like we'll probably go at least 3-3 in the division. Let's hope for 4-2.
Okay.
So if we go 4-2 in the division, I'm hoping we can get that win over the Falcons week 1 because the Falcons are another team that don't have their stuff together. So hopefully we get a week 1 win over the Falcons. Their defense still hasn't been really shored up. They still have a lot of problems on their defensive line. Of course, they have that explosive wide receiving core. So that really has me nervous because we don't have our secondary straight. So even if it is a high scoring game, I'm going to have to say if we don't get our cornerbacks together, it's going to be Falcons week 1 because Matt Ryan, Russell Gage, you got Calvin Ridley. Now they got Kyle Pitts. They got Hayden Hurst. Of course, they don't have a running game, but those weapons will be able to tear us up in secondary if we don't get somebody ASAP.
Hey, the main off the team though. Julio's gone. We ain't got to worry about Julio. He the one been lighting us up lately.
He was, and like I said, Julio, amazing Hall of Famer, but Julio has been hurt for the Falcons every season. So the Falcons know how to play without Julio because when was the last time Julio played a full season or even full games? So I just feel like the Falcons know how to win without Julio. And yeah, Julio is a huge threat, of course, but now what's the name? Calvin Ridley was a 1,000 plus yard receiver. Russell Gage does his thing in the slot. We don't even know what we got going on as our slot corner right now. I don't know if Avonte Maddox is going to be playing in the slot. He's going to be playing outside as of right now. Then, of course, they got Hayden Hurst. Like I said, tight end from Baltimore. They don't have a running game, but Matt Ryan is going to make those connections if it's just big play Slay out there for us. So that their receiving core is what had me scared, even without Julio. Because like I said, Julio is Julio. He's the great, but Julio is always hurt, so they know how to win without Julio.
Okay. Okay, I like it. Even though Julio was the Eagle killer, he's been having big games against us lately.
He
So I'm
did.
happy. I'm
Last
happy.
time we lost to the Falcons was that bubble screen.
Mm-hmm.
Julio took us out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy gone. I'm new to this whole YouTube things, content creating thing. I don't see too many, women Eagle content creators out there. So, what brought you to be a Birds fan?
So I'm from North Carolina. But my family is both sides of my family are from Washington, D.C. So all my family, they're either Eagles fans, Washington Redskins fans, or Cowboys fans, because back in the day, you only had your division was only coming on TV. So then my parents and my uncles and aunts growing up, all they watched was NFC East games. So they all pretty much just picked the team from the NFC East. So I have a lot of Eagles fans just from my DC ties. So just growing up, I just became an Eagles fan. I have a couple of aunts and uncles that's Eagles fans and a couple of cousins. We don't really have that many. I'm from North Carolina, but the football culture, especially the NFL culture, is not big in North Carolina at all. North Carolina is really about ACC basketball. So it's not like it's like Panthers fans walking everywhere, like the only Eagle fan. Really, it's more non-Panthers fans and where I grew up in North Carolina than it was Panthers fans. And the Panthers are a new franchise too, newish relatively. Yeah. So they don't really have that historic ties. They really don't have like a grasp on North Carolina. Like I'm in Georgia and like it's Falcons, Hawks, Braves. Like we didn't have that culture. It's just Tar Heels, Duke, and NC State. Like all North Carolina is about college basketball. So I was fine growing up an Eagles fan. A lot of Eagles fans in North Carolina too.
Yeah, I'm from Cali, but I'm here in Alabama. They don't have no professional sports team. It's all about Roll Tide.
Right.
All the Tigers, man. These guys
right.
They're deep out here, man.
Yeah, the South is something crazy.
So during the time period you have been an Eagles fan, give me your list of your top 5 Eagles that you enjoy watching over your years.
I would say definitely Michael Vick, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun. That was really my favorite trio. Definitely LaShawn, Michael Vick, Deshaun, that era. I love them guys. Also, I would say Darren Sproles. Originally, of course, a Saint, but like he just came in for us, did what he had to do, a stand-up guy. And then also him transitioning to the sidelines, getting in management and coaching. I always have so much respect for Darren Sproles. And I would say the 5th right now, my favorite is definitely Michael, LaShawn, Deshaun, Darren. Jalen Mills was one of my favorites, but now I don't even know if I can say he's a favorite anymore.
Mills left us, man. He left
right,
us.
But definitely Malcolm Jenkins. I would say Malcolm Jenkins.
Good one.
Yeah, definitely a leader for us. We definitely miss him, like because he was just like that. It was just the things that don't show up on the stat sheet that Malcolm Jenkins was doing for us. He was definitely like the point guard of our defense, and we definitely missed that last season.
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree, especially with McLeod going down. That's for sure. Right. Who do you think on defense is going to be some big time player this year for us?
I'm hoping it's our new guy, Zach
McPherson.
I mean, we gotta pray he's a big guy for us because as of right now, hopefully he's the guy, the biggest. I mean, everybody's talking about, of course, our new running back, Kenneth. Everybody's talking about, of course, Jalen Hurts, of course, Miles Sanders, of course, Deshaun. I mean, not Deshaun.
Devontae.
Yeah, but the guy we really need to step up the most and really have a big year as of right now, if we don't sign a corner, if we don't make a trade or whatever, is Zach. That's the guy we really need to be putting all chips in. It's not Jalen Hurts. It's not Miles. It's not Devonta. It's definitely Zach McPherson we need to show up big.
Yeah, do you think we're going to keep him and go ahead and let the rookie play? Like I was telling other people, with our new scheme, he's not going to be left on the island like before we had Jim. Swartz back there. So you think we should go ahead and give him his little time, let him have this year to be that rookie season where he get the mold and develop, or do you think we're going to pick up a free agent before the season starts?
Well, if we have any sense, we were going to be picking up a free agent. Now, of course, I mean, honestly, I don't know what's going on with Steven Nelson. Obviously, he's asking for more than we can afford, but Richard Sherman, I don't know if he retired. Like, I haven't heard any Richard Sherman news. Like, but I guess our best option right now is Richard Sherman because he's going to be the cheapest, but it's not getting me excited because, of course, Richard Sherman is 40 years old now. I know he's not 40, but he's up there. And if we have Big Play Slay, who's up there, and Richard Sherman, who's up there, we got two old heads holding down the secondary when we're really trying to, turn the crops and start fresh. But then on the same token, getting Richard Sherman could be good because, he could coach up Zach. He's obviously a future Hall of Famer, I guess. And he can coach up the young wide receivers as well. They can go up against Rich. They can go up against Big Play Slay in practice. So even though they might not be with us long term because of age, they can still leave a long-lasting impact on the young guys. We're going to have to get somebody because we just can't go in with Zach, Avanta, and Darius Slay. Like we're playing too many high-powered offenses this season. Just not sure.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Like everybody wants Steven Nelson. I see him more of a slot corner though that want a lot of money. He got his head big going. He's big headed right now. He want that cash, and I don't think we should give him all that cash. If anything, get rid of Zach. Or maybe even Barnett, and go ahead and trade for either my two, like I said before, is Gilmore or go ahead and get Howard. Gilmore would be like, kind of like the Richard Sherman thing. You have another bet back there to pay a loan slide, but that'll be locked down for our corners for this year, maybe next year. Where next year there's supposed to be a lot of high talented CBs coming out of the draft next year. Go ahead and get some of them to, have a year or two behind Gilmore and behind Slay. Let them develop in their own little fashion without having to throw them right into the fire right away. So that's what I would like. But like I said, a quick fix and a fix that can be a long-term fix is go ahead and get Howard from Miami.
I definitely like Xavier because he's younger too. I feel like if we're going to make a trade, we should trade for Xavier because he's a longer term player and he still has a lot of growth and he's already amazing, but he's still younger. I think he's like 26 maybe. So he still has a lot of years ahead of him. If we're going to trade, I don't want to trade for Gilmore only because we have to give up so much and we don't know how long we can give up a lot and have him for 2 years, maybe 3 years. Like who knows how long he's still going to be playing. So if we're going to make a trade, I feel like we should trade for a younger guy in Howard.
Okay, I feel you. That's a good one. How do you see our running backs shaping out? We already know Miles is the lead back. We got a couple of guys back there. We got Howard. We got Kerryon Johnson. And we got Gainwell, Boston Scott. So how many you think the Eagles going to keep? And give me your depth chart.
That's a tough one. That running back room is going to be something serious come training camp because, like I said, we got too many guys. What is that, 6 guys?
Yeah.
So that's going to be something serious. I definitely see, of course, we know Miles has a spot. Boston Scott has done so much for us when we were down to nothing. He's had to step up with us so much. Now, to me, I'm a little cutthroat. That means nothing to me. We paid you, you did what you had to do. Bye. If it comes down to it. But I know a lot of people are like, oh, we have to pay Boston Scott his dues just because he stepped up for us, which is true. But on the same token, he got paid. So it's not like he was working for free.
Right.
So I feel like if Boston Scott gets beat out, that's just the game. So a lot of people I see that's like, oh, we need to keep Boston Scott just off of seniority and, him paying his dues. No, if he gets beat out, in my opinion. Thanks for what you did, but we paid you. It's a transaction at the end of the day.
Right.
But I really like what I'm seeing. I really like what I see from Kenneth. Super explosive. And then the versatility of his game, being able to be such an elite pass catcher as well. I really like what I see from Kenneth, especially the passion. Like we keep talking about, like these young guys and they're hungry. He's definitely one of the guys that's I think is really passionate and really hungry. So I'm definitely loving Kenneth's game. Kyrian is super interesting. Just from his past, getting beat out at the Lions by the rookie. I just don't know about his motivation level. I mean, of course, we'll see at training camp. You can't judge off of, quotes and whatever, but we'll definitely see at training camp. I really think the strongest guys are going to be Kenneth, Kyrian, and Miles. Like I said, Boston's on the fringe for me. Jordan's on the fringe for me. Who else do we have? We still have Killins. Is he on some type of?
Yeah, I haven't heard too much about Kinlan. I thought they were thinking about moving him to receiver or something. I heard, but yeah, he's still on the roster. We got Holyfield back there.
Holyfield, I feel like is going to be gone.
Yeah, or practice squad probably.
Yeah. And I feel the same about Killins.
Yeah,
but I'm really excited about
that room. Right now, I look at like you said. I think Miles should be the lead dog, obviously, and then I think you got Kerryon. As long as he's healthy, like you said, motivated, but for sure healthy. Because when he's healthy, he's a beast out there in that field. So let's get him Kerryon, and then obviously Gainwell's going to play. He's going to be out at slot receiver. I see him playing some slot receiver and some running back this year. So I just imagine a 2-back set with Miles and Gainwell or even Kerryon. Running some of that RPO stuff. It's going to be amazing out back there. I think our running game is definitely going to step up this year.
Yeah, and especially now we got Nick coming from the Colts, and he was comparing Kenneth to Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines, I went to college with him at NC State. He was like our everything on offense. He's doing his thing now with the Colts. So if Kenneth is even a scratch, okay, I'm not even gonna say that. If he could come out and be 70% of what Nyheim is now, I think Naheem's coming to his third season. If he could be 70% of Nyheim now, I'm really going to be confident in his growth and his development. The running back room, I think it's going to be super exciting. Like we said, Nick is a guy that likes to use those guys extremely versatily. That's why I feel like the bar is going to be set really high in the running back room, and that's why I'm not sure if Boston Scott will be able to keep up. No shade to Boston Scott, but he is a smaller guy. He's a shorter guy. We'll see. Like I said, that's where a lot of the most of the competition, in my opinion, is going to be in the running back room.
Yeah, and I see too that that's going to actually give us more wins this year. I feel, having a healthy line. When our line's healthy, we don't lose very often. And then running the ball. Doug got too pass happy. I think. He wanted to throw the ball 50 and 60 times a game, and that's not going to win you a lot of football games. So having these guys back there with Hurts, doing some of that RPO stuff, Hurts can get you some yards on the feet. Some yards on the ground as well. So I'm very excited to see what they can do this year.
Yeah, definitely. We have a real natural running game, then that would take a lot of pressure off Hurts too, having to scramble, dive, get hurt, and all that. So it's definitely going to be a change for the better.
And what are you thinking? What are you thinking about Ertz? Stay, go. How you feeling on Ertz?
That's a great question. I honestly am just thoroughly confused at what's going on. I'm like, why is he still here? Is he staying? Are we trading him? Like, I don't want him. I don't want to trade him for nothing, of course, but I don't want him on the roster just taking up a spot, being stank, and not really wanting to be there on the same token. So I'm not sure. I did see an article the other day that was saying it's a good chance he's going to the Bills. But like I said, that article was like 3 days ago. Haven't heard anything since. So I have no idea. I just don't want Zach Ertz being like a negative, bad light in the of course he's not going to be like, oh dude, go drop the ball, but nobody wants that guy just moping around, don't want to be there. So I hope that if we can get rid of him and not just have to get pennies back. But at the end of the day, if we have to get pennies back, fine, because if you don't want to be here, it's going to show. So
yeah, if you don't want to be here, bye. We don't need no one that don't want to be here. That's why I'm happy Carson's gone. I'll be happy when Ertz is off the team. Someone says he's gonna show up to training camp. I'm like, I bet he is. He's not gonna take a $50,000 fine a day.
Exactly.
So he's gonna be there, but he's not gonna come with the spirit. I know he don't want to play backup to nobody. So he's not gonna want to be a backup to Goddard. That's for sure. So yeah, we need to get rid of him as soon as possible. Like you say, even if we only get pennies, we be getting millions back. So yeah,
Exactly.
that works out for us for sure. All right, all right. So how do you feel? How you feel about? Let's see, what else? What other? Oh yeah, the Marlotta Dillard situation.
I like it. Of course, I'm saying the healthy competition is definitely something that we need. Of course, Malata, he, like we keep saying about guys stepping up, he stepped up in Diller's absence. Of course, it's nothing against Diller. You guys get hurt. It's nothing that he could control. But the best ability, what they say, is availability. And what have you done for me lately? At the end of the day, it's business. It's a cutthroat business, but you make millions, so you can't complain about it. And Myalata has been showing up for us recently. And Dillard, what we saw of Dillard was promising. We didn't see anything amazing, but what we saw of him was promising. Like, we definitely a guy that can develop. But you missed a year being injured. You're a big dude, a lineman, and usually when linemen get hurt, that's a trend that they continue. Especially being such a big dude, making all those unnatural movements on your knees, on your ankles. Like, you're not supposed to move like that when you're that big. So I just believe that Dillard's injuries are probably going to keep showing up. Myalata has been a more versatile guy than I think Dillard has been for us, being able to play on both sides. Yeah, so as of right now, if I had to pick go on anybody, I would pick Myalata. But of course, we'll see what happens next at training camp.
What up, Philly, Philly?
Philly, what's going on?
Heck yeah! Thanks for joining us today, buddy. We're gonna be doing some work here shortly too. Also, let's go with who do you think is gonna be the surprise rookie that no one's really talking about right now that's make the biggest impact this year?
I think the biggest surprise, I'm gonna say Kenneth, because a lot of people, when I was doing my pre-draft videos and whatnot, a lot of people were saying I had running backs in my mock drafts because I felt like our running back room wasn't up to par, especially like I said with Nick Sirianni coming in from a Colts offense that was running back heavy, and the running backs were really one of their shining stars. So I had a lot of running backs in my mock drafts, and I got a lot of feedback from people saying, "Oh, we don't need a running back. We don't need a running back. We don't need a running back. We're good. We're good. We're good." So when we drafted a running back, of course, I was like, "Okay, yeah, see, they thinking like me. We drafted a running back." So I'm really hoping Kenneth is one of the, like you said, of course, all we're talking about is Devonta Smith, and all we're talking about is Jalen Hurts this offseason. But I think Kenneth can really be a change of pace with Miles Sanders. If those two get going like a real dynamic duo, especially a young duo at that, both of those guys being so young and having such high potential, I think that running game will really, really, really set us apart and will really, of course, help Jalen Hurts, take a lot of pressure off him. And I think that if we get that running game going, if that offensive line stays healthy, then Jalen Hurts is going to be looking even better.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm 100 with you on that one. Kenneth Gainwell is going to help out this offense so much. He's definitely a dynamic runner, and like you said, he can catch the ball too. So, what about on defense? Give me one of them young defensive boys.
Like I said, Zach has to be the
Go
young.
back to Zach.
He's got to be the young defender that steps up. He was a fourth round pick. No shade to him. Like, it's nothing he did. But, of course, we were all hoping we drafted a corner before the fourth round. So we all have a lot riding on Zach, especially even if we do even if we do trade for a cornerback, or even if we do sign an old head like Richard Sherman, because that's the only real guy that we can afford right now in the free agency market. Even if we do get those guys, Zach is still going to have a lot riding on us, because just in the depth in the cornerback room isn't really exciting. So he needs to be one of those young guys that's going to step up and be, even if it's not this season, we're going to need him in the future to step up and be a staple for us, because that cornerback situation has really been hurting us lately, and we need all those guys to be ready to go come September.
Yeah, what up, Uncensored? Great show today, buddy. Yeah, me and him was talking like back in the day, we used to always have two good cornerbacks. The Eagles don't always have two good cornerbacks, and recently we done fell off that. You know what I'm saying? We barely got one. So definitely need to get back in that game, because it's a pass-happy league, and we need to stop some of these receivers out there.
Exactly.
What's your take on Jacoby Stevens, though? Do you think he's going to get some PT this year, or you think we're going to use him?
Um, like I said, with all it's gonna be tough because, like I said, it's a lot of young guys we have. We have a new coaching staff. We have a new coaching staff. You really never know what you're going to get. So I feel like yes, just because of the lack of depth we have at the position, and it's still kind of anybody's game right now. So training camp, I feel like it's gonna be super exciting for us. I'm definitely interested to see what he can show. So it's just a matter of training camp. But like I said, it's wide open for these guys. So we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And I think we're going to be running like a hybrid defense this year.
Mm-hmm.
And since he does play linebacker and safety, and we don't even know if McLeod's going to be ready game.
Yeah.
So that's going to mean Kayvon's going to have to step up.
Mm-hmm.
Also see him probably using, Jacoby Stevens in that rover type position, maybe some safety, whenever Kayvon has to come up and play the line or something like that.
And that's going to definitely be interesting because, like you said, we don't know about Rodney McLeod. If he does come back, what percent is he going to be when he comes back? Is it going to be like a nagging injury? Like, we definitely have to kind of be holding our breath with him all season, just hoping he can stay healthy all season. Kavon, he showed promise, but he didn't show a lot. He showed promise, but it's not like we can really be like, oh, Kavon out there, we good. So we definitely want to see what his development is like, especially this season, now that these guys have a real off season, because of course COVID affected them last season. We got a new defensive staff, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, we're definitely going to need to see a lot from Jacoby and Kavon, especially since Rodney is in limbo.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. COVID kind of stunted the growth for a lot of these young guys. COVID and also Jim Schwartz not being a great teacher, I feel like. And he had his system. He's like, you don't play my system. I'm leaving you on the island. Do your job. And I think with coaches, we're definitely going to see them have a lot more freedom. And like I said, they didn't take all that time. This last little training section they had doing all this 7-on-7 stuff. They were teaching fundamentals. Everybody ready. So when we hit the training camp, they can hit the ground running.
Yep.
So, well, yeah, man. Thanks everybody for joining the show. I know you got to go. You got some things to go do. Tell people, give people a little insight of where they can find you at, what other stuff you do. And I know you just don't do Eagle stuff. You do a little bit of something else, don't you?
Well, yeah, thank you for having me. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Sports Talk with Let's Go Birds, Philly. I don't know what Philly's talking about. I remember we used to be friends. I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't even know what he's talking about. What you talking about, Philly? But yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Symone with the Sports, SYMONE, not NISY. Also on Instagram, Symone with the Sports. Twitter, Symone_Stanley. Yeah, so I'm out here doing a lot of different things, a lot of reporting. I'm really working right now in the prep sports outlet, and I do a lot of baseball, really, and I'm doing a lot of basketball right now. So my long-term goal is to do color commentating and play-by-play.
Nice.
So I'm experience there now at work. So just keep being patient, and I'm gonna keep posting my work. But yeah, I do a lot of interviews. And then I'm starting to get my play-by-play and color experience now. So hopefully that goes well.
Okay, well, keep grinding, girl. It's always good to see a sister out there grinding hard, moving up up the ladder in that, career movement. So, yeah, sub her up. She's got great content. I've watched a bunch of her videos. Good stuff. I love when you do that little Symone with the, do it for me. You got to do it for the show.
With the Spizzorts.
There you go.
I don't even know how that started. It just started randomly, and I just kept doing it.
Yeah, it worked. You ever decided what you said? Did you decide on the name? Remember you had on your show the other day about Jalen Hurts. All right.
Yeah, it's Jalen Make It Hurts.
Jalen Make It Hurts. I liked it.
Jalen Make It Hurts. Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, subscribe this channel. Hopefully, whenever you get some more free time, we can do this again. It was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Just let me know.
And yeah, thank you for joining us. And fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Bye.
Bye.